Hi, I'm Sharon.
And I'm Jeff.
Come along as we go on a Christmas tour of homes and have adventure today in
Bramwell,
Bramwell, West Virginia. Starting in Bramwell and extending over 40 miles from West Virginia into Virginia, the flat-top Pocahontas coalfields became known in the 1870s. In the 1880s, the region around Bramwell began to rapidly grow as a coal mining center with several coal camps operating. The town of Bramwell was officially established in 1888 and was named after J.H. Bramwell, a civil engineer. The town's population rapidly grew, reaching 4,000 by 1896, and Bramwell became the hub of commerce and finance for the coal mines. The Bank of Bramell, founded in 1889 by James Mann and his cousin I.T. Mann as its cashier, served as the financial center of southern West Virginia and was said to be the wealthiest bank per capita in the United States. Its janitor, Henry Wade, regularly transported bags of money via wheelbarrow down the town's brick-paved streets to the nearby train depot. At one point, the Norfolk and Western Railroad stopped at Bramwell 14 times a day. In the late 1800s, the town acquired notoriety for having the largest number of millionaires per capita in the United States. Numerous large homes were built in the town by wealthy coal operators. At the height of its prosperity, Bramwell counted 17 millionaires among its residents. In 1884, the town was named to the National Register of Historic Places by the U.S. Department of Interior. Many of the houses are early 20th century in design. There's also a museum largely devoted to the local coal and train history of the area.
Okay, you're holding a ticket, and on that ticket is the list of the homes that are open, and you also have on the back a map. There's one that's not on there though. We called Mike for last and said we're going to open up the street fair apartments, which are over the corner shop. So it's not on your ticket, but you're invited to go in. It's quite lovely. So please be sure to stop in and go to the corner shop. Street Fair Apartments. Okay? On behalf of the Bramwell Theater Corporation in the town of Bramwell, I welcome you to our 42nd Homes Tour. It started in 1983, and one of the ladies who grew up here, she said, "Who in the world would want to see our houses?" So here you are, 40-some years later, visiting. How many of you have never been to see our Christmas tour of homes? Thank you for coming. You're in for a real treat. And it's a real treat to go into someone's private home. Some of the homes are grandly decorated. Some of them are simply decorated. It's what each family wants to do. And so we welcome you on behalf of everybody that works hard. There are a lot of little elves working in the background for you to enjoy opened up the first southern West Virginia coal mining operation called Mill Creek Coal and Coke. As it would happen, my great-grandfather began working for John Cooper. My grandfather, at the age of 5, started working for John Cooper. So I'm part of the coal mining families, not the millionaire families that you hear so much about. I'm part of the coal mining families. By the way, my granddaddy loved working in the coal mines. Loved it, loved it.
This home was built by Colonel Thomas. He was born in Wales. He was a mine manager, and he ended up marrying Annie Cooper. Now, if you don't know, she was the daughter of the man who sent the first shipment of coal out of this area. So they started building this home in 1909. It was not completed until 1912. Now, I know that sounds like a long time, but you have to consider the amount of work that was done on this property. For example, down at the bottom of the property, you probably noticed a great big stone wall. That huge wall goes all the way around front and most of the way up the back and around. All of that had to be cut and laid by hand, and you couldn't do it in just any kind of a weather. So just that wall alone, was going to take up some time. The property is 12 acres. You've got the house. You've got a carriage house. This carriage house had tile walls, and it also, remember, this is the early 1900s, had a modern hose set up connected to the ceiling that swiveled for their carriage. And attached to the carriage house was a large greenhouse. And this greenhouse, remember, this belonged to Colonel Thomas, it had an indoor pond inside. They also had a barn on the property. They had a servant's quarters. They had a house for their gardener. And they had a split level coop for their beloved peacocks. Now, there are so many different features, special features in this house. It's going to be hard to even point out all of them. But just a few things, say here in the living room, the pocket doors. This home also has the wood parquet floors that are original, and this was laid back in the early 1900s. You've got the ornate plaster ceilings. And one of the special things that I find special every time I'm in these homes are the unique fireplaces. So be on the watch for fireplaces. They're all beautiful. Now, if you want to follow me into the piano, the homeowner is your entertainment tonight. We'll go into the piano room. Features in this room that I just found out a little earlier, so I'm probably not explaining it quite correctly. You see the panels over here on the wall. Somehow that was set up early 1900s that it would pull fresh air from the outside in and down around where it was heated by hot water and then forced into the house. Early 1900 technology wasn't that bad. And then this room, those are the big, huge, original andirons that Colonel had. And this fireplace, you can barely see it. You see Bacchus He's carved into the wood under that long oval. He was the god of revelry and grapes. And I'll let you just wander around if there's anything you want to look at in here. And then we'll
You're very welcome. Ask you to come out on a Saturday night. Although actually, the weather's been pretty nice. It's had a couple of weeks of winter.
Some of the pictures in this room, even back then, do we have any Jones in the audience in this group? Okay. Even back then, it was got to keep up with the Joneses. Every millionaire home had to be just a little bigger and just a little better, a little more modern than the last one that was built. This home actually had, look in the corner over at the bottom. Do you see the little nozzles in the floor? That was for the central vacuum system. So that Messy only had to carry a hose with her and just took it up to whatever room she was going to have. So if there was a rate cake, it all went down for the rate in trash tire. Right? Another unique thing, you've got the grates over the radiator. So you got, so there you have. And do you see the glass panel is the stained glass behind me up at the top of the stairs? I thought there's one of a fish. That fish in 1978, National Geographic visited this home, took a picture of that, and featured it in their magazines under an article about the artwork of the bygone days. The stained glass in the middle is St. Francis of Assisi, and you've got one in birds. Those are kingfish, and they are known to fly up and down the Bluestone River. Now, what we're going to do, I have a huge dining room. Originally, Colonel Thomas and his wife, we had 3 children. All they had in here was a small little circular table, perfect for 2 people. It did have a servant's call button underneath it, but the current owners said they tried that button 100 times. Met their another fireplace. Can everybody see this? It goes, look close. You can see a Welsh dragon. It's really quite scary. Well, Colonel Thomas had planned on doing a coat of arms for his family. Unfortunately, 3 years after this house was completed, he passed away. So the coat of arms was never finished. The room next to us was the sunroom, and the 4 tiles, they were imported, as were a lot of the building materials for the home, imported from Wales. So if you want just
Bramwell, because Edward got a job as the high school principal, first principal in town. While he's here, the Bank of Bramwell is doing great and wonderful things, making money hand over fist because of the coal fields. And the town of Bramwell is blowing up. And Edward is a smart guy. He gets connected to everybody. He's like, I'm going to get a job at the Bank of Bramwell. And he does. And he stays at the Bank of Bramwell till 1933. That's when it closed. Along the way, he meets people, and he's very congenial, and he gets jobs with all these different coal companies. He's on 6 or 7 different coal company boards, and he's doing great things, making lots of money. And he says, I'm going to run for House of Delegates. And he gets elected. Keeps that job for a couple of years. Again, still working at the bank the whole time. Then he runs for Senate. Senator Baker, right? So he runs for Senate. When he runs for Senate, because Bramwell is so well connected and politically motivated, there's another guy in town running for Senate at the same time. That's Jarius Collins. Anybody been in the Collins house tonight? Brick Street, right? Okay. Did they tell you that Mr. Collins was a loser? No, they did not. But Senator Baker is a winner. They ran against each other. Mr. Baker won. So this is the senator's house, not so much for Mr. Collins. Right? Anyway, so they stay here their whole lives. While they're here, they have one child, Mabel. Mabel lives a life of luxury because mom and dad are rich. They're doing great and wonderful things, working at the bank, working at the coal companies, doing wonderful, right? Mabel takes a cruise in 1920 to England on a steamship, the SS Mauretania. You may have heard of it. It's one of the fastest ships out there at the time. Comes back. She's a socialite. She marries a doctor from Bluefield. They have 2 children. First child gets hit in a car wreck in front of Beaver High School and dies. Their second son lives till he's 90-something. The family's very long-lived. Mary Baker dies at the age of 88. Mr. Baker dies at the age of 90. They stayed in this house the whole time. While here, the house gets gifted this piano around the corner. You're going to see it's called a square piano, which is a lie because it's a rectangle. All right, it's a grand piano. It's 88 keys, which is 7 1/3 octaves. At the time, it was a very expensive piano, $850 in 1884. Right, that's roughly equivalent to $60,000 to $70,000 today. So the house was built by them. Any good stuff you see, for them. Any bad stuff, our fault, because we haven't fixed it yet. We bought the house in April or February. We moved in April, and we've been fixing it ever since. This is the original money pit. So, any questions? Anybody? Anything? No? All right. Please enjoy the house.
Just so you know, he put down wrong.
Oh.
He said you do have books that have a lot of the homes for sale. They sell them downtown. But when you go into the library and above the fireplace, you'll see a picture of Mr. and Mrs. Baker. And the picture was taken in front of the bookshelf that's around the corner. And they were the original owners, and we're the 13th.
They just got married. Edward got a job.
So yeah, enjoy.
This is a picture of the original owners.
Okay, cool. And that's wood burning.
Yes.
Actually, I think it's been originally coal burning.
Probably
Usually
so.
when they're small like that,
Yeah.
they're coal burning.
Yeah.
Those little narrow grates like that, that's what they were. It's a neat little room though.
Yeah, it is.
So this is Senator Baker's house?
Snow is falling on the ground. Well, it's Christmas time, pretty baby.
Philadelphia style architecture, Philadelphia architects. She was from Philadelphia. And if you'll notice, now I live in one myself, and I'm not throwing shade at them. But some Victorian houses have a tendency to be rather fussy. But this one, you see the beauty, the plainness of materials, and boy, those materials are really something. This is every stick in here is quarter sawn oak. That's a way of cutting oak so that the grain of the oak shows to great advantage. Sometimes it's called tiger oak. You see the xylem and the foam, even the floors are oak. And as I say, it's remarkable, the preservation of the room. Nobody's painted it. Nobody's broken any of those incredibly rare Steuben Arene shades. Back in the corner behind you there is Mr. Brown's hostess. Harpsichord. That's an instrument that plays by plucking strings. It was overcome by the piano, which plays by striking strings with hammers. That instrument was right here. That's an 1870 Steinway concert grand. Still plays, played every day by Mr. Brown. I'm here. Yeah. Too many people. Too many people getting here. And no pipe organ. I know you've noticed the lack. The next room is conservatory. That's where people conserve their plants over the winter season.
The furniture in here is original to the home. It did leave the home for around 50 years, but it stayed within the Hewitt family, so they were able to track furniture down and get the furniture back. This is Mrs. Hewitt's original dining room table. The furniture in here is revival Chippendale style, and that's what she had bought for the home when she built it. At the time, they said she always sat here, and she had a button under the table she could use to call a servant if she needed one. That black fan was actually one of her original fans. Wow. And this is the table she hosted. JFK had dinner with her when he campaigned in southern West Virginia here at this table.
Very nice, very okay.
But yes, they have done an amazing job with this house. Revival Chippendale style furniture that Mrs. Hewitt bought for the home when she built it. This is her original dining room table. At the time, they said she always sat here and had a button under the table where she sat. She was serving. And the black fan is one of her original fans.
reconciled. Joyful all ye nations rise, join the triumph of the skies. With the angelic host proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the carol angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open.
So we're wrapping up our evening here for our Christmas tour of homes in Bramwell, West Virginia. What did you think?
Phenomenal. Decorations were varied, from some modern stuff to older, more period stuff from the foundings of Bramwell. The architecture, some of the woodwork was just phenomenal. Just a lot of good craftsmanship was here over the years, back in probably the early 1900s for the most part.
So the houses were all very different. I would not say that any two of them were alike. And we went to several ones that were just spread out across the town.
Right.
One of the things I'd like to really commend them on, having done a few things like this in my life, one or two, is, everybody that's doing this is volunteers, and of course they work really hard on it, and you can tell that, and they're very proud of the work they've done,
yes.
And they should be.
Should be, absolutely.
And everybody was super friendly.
Yes.
And in fact, we're pretty super friendly, so we
chatted with quite a few people.
We were chatting with people along the way and with the owners, and we learned a lot about not just the history, but the folks that are living in these houses now, how they got these houses, how they came to be, and
some of the architectural features like the pocket doors, some of the plumbing, the central vac in one of them,
yes.
And this was a central vac in 1910. I mean, holy cow. The woodwork, the plaster, the ceilings, just the craftsmanship and artisan work was just phenomenal.
I think there's some really standout features. The plaster ceilings were unbelievable in the first house that we went to.
Right.
Do you have a favorite? Do you want to pick a favorite? We don't want to.
Wow, a favorite. Probably either the Hewitt House or the, forget the name of the one we went in just before, the second to last with the stained glass.
I'll put that and drop it on the video, what the
Right.
name of that house is. I really love some of the architecture in all the houses, and I loved the house that we went to, and they talked about the pianos. But
Right.
if I had to pick like a favorite overall, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I love the Hewitt House.
Right.
That
Right.
was my favorite. I loved everything about that house.
They had decorated it very nicely, very tastefully. I mean, they all were. They had the harp player there.
Yeah.
Just very, very nicely done. Very nicely done.
Well, several houses, every house had live music. They did.
Yes, they did. You're right.
Yeah,
they did.
They did. The owner of the first house that we went to
Playing the piano.
played the piano,
Right.
and then they had a guitarist in one house, and they had
That
a
was a
duet in the last house we went to, but the harpist was at the Hewitt
Hewitt
House.
House, right? The Hewitt House, right?
I just, like, if I had to move into one,
That would be the
that'd
one.
be the house. If you want to think about that in the future, that'd be the house
Right.
I would
That's
enjoy.
watch for to come on the market, right?
Yes.
Not the apartment above the corner shop.
Probably not. That'd be a nice little Airbnb if you're coming to
It
the
would
area.
be.
They did have the apartment open above the corner shop, the soda fountain shop, and they are running that as an Airbnb, and it was nice.
It was nice and pretty spacious, really.
It was very spacious if you were
Right.
coming like several
Several couples, right.
or a large family. That would
Right.
be a good space for that.
But even if you're doing a day trip, it's pretty easy to get over here from anywhere in Tazewell County, Bluefield, Princeton area. It's not hard to get over here.
No, it's not. I also, they have several of the public buildings open tonight.
Yes.
We're in front of the train station again. We were here earlier. They also have the Masonic Lodge open, and
Town Hall was open, which
Town Hall was open.
I think recently remodeled that one.
They have. So what's good about that was like there's great restroom access as you're out walking around, and that's always important when you're doing this type of activity. And then they had a neat little arts and crafts show, and then they had refreshments in the Masonic Lodge.
Right.
We didn't partake of those because we partaked too much earlier at the soda shop, but
One thing we haven't talked about
That's
is
really nice.
to kick off the tour. There was a orientation, brief history of the Bramwell area in the Presbyterian Church.
yes.
Very well done. Beautiful structure, by the way, as well.
Yes.
Stonework, woodwork, sort of a gambrel arch type ceiling in there. And it was pretty good crowd. And I'd say the facility probably 2/3, 3/4 full at about 4:45, 4:50. The tour started at 5. And they did those periodically through the night. I would have tour, but that was a pretty good thing. That was nice to learn some of the history of the homes and so forth.
It was great. It was well done that way. So they, that's where you also, we bought our tickets online, which
Right.
you could do that. And it was $20 per person to take the tour, and what a deal for
Good
what you
deal.
got to do. It was a very good deal, and that money went to the Bramwell Theater Corporation, and they do, all kinds of things to improve and preserve Bramwell. So it was a good deal. So we went there, and as Jeff said, you could either buy your ticket there, or we traded our online information for a ticket, and we went in and sat in the church, and we've got video of that.
Right.
And you can see that the church, as Jeff mentioned, was very full, and that was very nice, the way to start the tour. And so then when we went from there, we decided there were 2 houses up on the hill, and so we just decided to do that first before we got tired, or before I got tired. Jeff never gets tired.
Sits up overlooks the town, basically.
So we've spent, the better part of the afternoon and evening here. We had great food. We enjoyed the tour. I went Christmas shopping at the Arts and Crafts Show. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any gifts for anybody, but I did buy something for myself.
Never fails.
Yeah, well, and Jeff did buy a little Christmas gift that he found. It's been a great day, and I would highly recommend if you want to do something that's very interesting and you enjoy historic homes, you enjoy decorations for the holidays and just a nice environment and friendly atmosphere, that you come next year and do the tour of homes here in Bramwell. And it is Bramwell. When you look at the spelling of it, it looks like Bramwell. But as the lady said earlier, and I was shaking my head yes, because I get what she was saying, is like, well, no, you're not from here if you say Bramwell, because they say Bramwell, just like Appalachian is not Appalachian, it's Appalachian.
Get the syllables suppressed a little bit. But a couple other thoughts on the tour. I think the first one was in 1983. I believe it was.
It's been going for a good while.
And there is also a spring home tour, which I don't remember which month that is, but there are 2 tours each year, one in spring, one at Christmas. Maybe we can do the spring tour this time around.
Yeah, it might be interesting. I mean, a lot of these houses have, you can tell they have nice gardens with them, so it would be beautiful to be in bloom in the spring, so it might be a nice trip back.
And it may be different houses. May very well be different houses.
That's right. That's what I understand. It's never the same houses on the tour, so even if you've done it before, even the Christmas tour, it won't be the same houses next year on the Christmas tour is what I understand.
But even if it is, it's, why not? It's pretty neat.
Yeah, it is pretty neat. It is pretty neat. So I enjoyed it a lot, and would recommend it to you if you're in the area, or make a trip out of it. And there are lots of, we're right here at the Hatfield and McCoy ATV Trail too. So there's a number of Airbnbs right around here.
It is something we haven't talked about. There are a couple of homes that have a couple of significant sets of steps, most notably the apartment above the corner shop. The first house we toured had some steps to navigate. That was probably, I guess, about it.
It was, and some folks, I mean, there was plenty to see on ground level floors, and so some folks just made the choice not to do the steps, and that's okay.
And that's fine, yeah. Just something to be aware of.
It's still worth the tour of what you can see on the first floors to do that. So,
but it's great also to see a town that has embraced their past history of their architecture and have worked pretty hard to preserve it. A lot of history here.
There's a lot of history here, and we'll definitely have to make a trip back.
Right.
So we're going to wind it up here, and you should have adventure today.